Hello, Mrs. Hines from the school counseling office, and I wanted to share with you today the course registration information for you for the 2021 school year. You are the class of 2021, and there's going to be a lot of important things to think about with the multiple schedules offered to you, the course selections. We will go over multiple things today. Some of the things that we're going to look at are the courses that are going to be offered. And this is really important that you do choose carefully your courses, because once we get the totals, that determines whether a course runs or not. So if you think about it ahead of time, make those choices, then we'll have a more definitive course offerings for next year. And once the budget is finalized, we'll know exactly what courses we're going to be running. We are also going to review the graduation requirements, which includes the credits, the testing, service learning. All of those drive your course selections for your senior year. And then finally, all the different special scheduling options that are available. You may know some of your junior friends or senior counterparts who are also looking at doing multiple schedules for this coming school year. You can talk to them and see what's working for them and what's not. So along with me, I do have some friends that will be joining me back here based on your last name. You have your counselors. We have myself at the beginning of the alphabet, A through E. Mr. Johnstone works with the last names F through K. Miss Uppercue, L through R. Mr. Zott, S to Z. And once I finish with this information for you today, I will be following up in your history class to take some questions. And if I'm not able to answer those questions, or you have specific questions about your courses, I would encourage you to fill out a slip to come up to the counseling office, and at that point you would give that to Ms. West, who is sitting and greeting you in the office. The one thing I really encourage you to do today is to write down questions or take notes. So when I do come back, it will either be after this presentation or the next time you have class, to take some questions that you might have about next year. So graduation requirements, just a broad overview. This is nothing new to you. You've been hearing this since 8th grade. You must earn 26 credits to graduate. That's passing 26 classes, and they will be more specific as we go through this. Service learning, the state requires you to earn 75 hours of service learning. Harford County has that built into their curriculum. So for each year you've attended grades 10, 11, 12, those 3 years would add up to 75. In Harford County, beginning in grade 6, you earn 25 hours per year. So most of you will have met that requirement. The final graduation requirement are the MCAP tests. These are your government, your science, your English, your math. And if you need to do some more research, you can see your counselor, or you can go to the website down here, hcps.org/SEPG. They will have the specific score requirements that you do need. There are different scores with different tests. The science test, you just needed to sit for this year in order to graduate. If you're not successful in passing a test, then you will be enrolled in a course next year in your senior year in which you will be working on a project which will give you another opportunity to earn that passing score. Breaking down those 26 credits. English, 4 credits, English 1, 2, 3, and 4. In math, you must earn 4 credits to graduate, one of which must be algebra, geometry, and the state requires every senior to be enrolled in a math class. So some of you may have already met those 4 credits, but the state says that you still must be enrolled in a math class during your senior year. So for now, next year, every senior will be enrolled in an English and a math. The rest of the courses, based on what you've earned credit in, you may not need to take a class. We always encourage you to take additional courses based on what you would like to study after you graduate. For example, science, you only need 3 credits according to the state in order to graduate. Everyone must take a biology. After that, your biology, the IPC or the Earth systems, or you are taking biology, chemistry, and physics. And again, you're welcome to take additional science electives, and we encourage that because if you are going into certain fields, it would be good to have those before you graduate. Social studies, 3 credits. The state says you must take government, world history, and U.S. history. There are other electives that you can sign up for, and you'll get to see what those are shortly. The other 3 requirements, fine art. In 9th grade, we encouraged all of our 9th graders to enroll in art, music, or drama. You need to pass one of those to graduate. In 9th grade, every 9th grader was enrolled in PE 9 and had the opportunity to earn half a credit. You do need to earn another half credit at some point, and some of you have completed that. If not, that is something to think about for your senior year. And FOT, the Foundations of Technology, which we encourage everyone to take in 10th grade, 1 full credit of that. So this is the breakdown of most of those 26 credits. The rest of the requirements, the state requires every graduating senior to earn a Maryland diploma to have a completer. A completer is 2 to 4 credits in an area of study. And I will share with you what those are shortly. Harford County requires you to complete 4 credits in a pathway. So you have over 1 more year to work on that. Many of you will have completed multiple pathways before you graduate, but we must ensure that all of you have at least 1 pathway that has 4 specific credits, and we will share that with you. So option 1, completer pathway combination. This is where you get a bargain, 2 for 1 special. You will take a completer that can be used as a pathway or a pathway that can be used as a completer. They require 4 credits in the program, and we have multiple programs that meet that requirement. Some of you will have taken 4 years of the same language. That's French, German, or Spanish. We have the business programs that include accounting, marketing, and management. The agricultural programs with the animal science and the magnet. The early childhood program, food and beverage, and finally general engineering. So what I have for you that your teacher handed out is a paper that shares all of that information and breaks that down for you. So on this paper, if you were to look at the accounting pathway completer, you would need these 4 specific classes: the principles of business, principles of accounting, advanced accounting, and the final class is a class that you would take through Harford Community College. There is a fee associated with that, and you would earn college credits. So if you are in this program, your business teacher should be talking to you, and you can be talking to them about what that means for you next year. You could choose any of these programs and see exactly what classes, and again, you need 4 classes, and they are very specific classes here. Okay, those of you who are not enrolled in one of those programs, let's say you only took 2 years of the language, or you took no language, and instead you took 2 advanced tech classes. So if you did 2 years of the language, or 2 credits in one of the advanced tech, then you have to look for a separate program pathway in which you have to take 4 specific classes. And these are really interest-based programs. You have on the other side of your paper the programs that run for that. You could be a literary arts program. There are multiple courses that you can take. We are asking, the county is asking that you must complete 4. So you could take journalism 1, 2, 3, and your fourth class could be AP English, or your fourth class could be yearbook. So as you look through these programs, we have literary arts, music, which includes band, chorus, and orchestra, the environmental science program, drama, the visual arts, and the advanced math and science. And I do want to talk a little bit about the math and science program. With that program, the first 4 math credits you earn and the first 3 science credits you earn do not count towards that. So even though it requires 4 credits, biology, chemistry, physics would not count. You would have to take additional science and additional math classes. In essence, you're taking about 11 math and science classes. Two more pathways. Social science, lots of different options as long as you have 4 credits in that program, and the medical services is more specific. So again, these are programs that 2 years of a language or 2 advanced technologies can be paired with. Okay, something that we do need to mention, those of you that are interested in attending college after high school, the Maryland has set up a program called the Maryland Scholars Program, in which they've identified some classes that they say will have you be more successful in your post-secondary studies. So if there's anyone looking at Hartford Community or a 4-year school, the Maryland Scholars Program is something that some of you are already doing. If not, challenge yourself next year. They are going to designate for you on your final transcript that you are a Maryland State Scholar. There's more information in your planner on page 12, and the requirements include, at the end of your senior year, a cumulative average from grades 9 to 12 of 3.0 or higher. You must have taken Algebra 2, 2 years of a language, chemistry, and physics, but there are some substitutes for physics. Something worth noting for your math class next year. I mentioned earlier that the state of Maryland requires every senior in Maryland to be enrolled in a math class. If you are considering attending a University of Maryland school or applying to a 4-year state school such as College Park, Towson, Salisbury, Frostburg, you may want to consider taking a different type of math. The HCC math is meant to be a review of math skills. It is geared for students who are struggling in math or who might be going to Hartford Community College as a review. If you are considering College Park, they do not consider that to be one of your 4th math choices. College Park is looking for you to continue to challenge yourself in math, and HCC is going to be a review and not going ahead and continuing. And the fun stuff. So now we're going to look at the different options that you guys can take advantage of as a senior. Seniors are eligible to aid next year, and you would be able to find all of these applications for aiding and peer tutoring in the counseling office. As an aide, you would need to complete an application, and you need to seek out a teacher who is willing to sign that. Teachers are allowed to take 1 aide. So if everyone's gone for Mr. Green, then he's only allowed to have 1, and I would imagine he would have had a conversation with that person. So you would, to get the aid application, you'll need to sign it, parent needs to sign it, and your teacher needs to sign it. As an aide, you're not earning a credit, you're not earning a grade, and you must be enrolled in at least 4 credits next year. So if you're looking to go part-time, be here for 4 classes, and you want to aid for 1, that's not going to be allowed. You could be aiding if you're here for 6 periods or 8 periods. Peer tutors. You can peer tutor and you will earn a grade and you will earn a credit. And if you're here part-time next year for 4 classes, one of those could be a peer tutor. As a peer tutor, you are helping the teacher. You're going to be working with students, small groups, or individuals, and we try to pair you up with classes that have 9th graders. So these are 2 options that can be incorporated into your schedule. There are some requirements for tutoring. They will look at your GPA, they will look at your attendance. So you can stop by at the counseling office to pick up the applications and get those turned in. The final option that you guys have as a senior is to attend part-time. That also requires an application, and when we come back with all the counselors to collect your registration sheets, I will bring with you some instructions. The application opens on March the 2nd. Part-time attendance can mean multiple things. The big thing that I need you to know is that that application is due by May 29th. So if you come up to see us the last day of the school year, it's too late. You'll have to wait until after Labor Day we start. And there's some problems with coordinating if you're attending college next year at Hartford Community as a senior. We might not have all of the paperwork done in time. So May 29th is the big deadline, and it is an online application, and I'm going to go over with you all the different types of applications. Part-time, seniors only. So you can read some of the reasons why they would approve you to go part-time. We also have early college, in which I'm going to emphasize multiple times, you need a 2.4 minimum unweighted GPA to be qualified for that. And I will go over the different options: college credit, dual transfer. We have several students a year who actually leave North Hartford High School, and as a senior they cannot participate in the musical, they cannot participate in the sporting events, because they are no longer enrolled with us. Instead, they are a full-time student at a college, which means that they are taking 4 classes at the college in the fall and 4 classes in the college at the spring, and they have to be very specific classes. So this requires very careful planning. And all the way on the other side is the accelerated graduation, which is not, you guys, it's too late for it. Students who want to graduate at the end of 11th grade. So let's take more of a look at the part-time attendance. Part-time attendance is when you choose to go to school as a senior and only attend 4 or 6 classes. The 4 classes could occur all on A day or all on B day. They could be every morning, where you leave after the 2nd class around lunchtime. And multiple reasons, extraordinary circumstances. There might be something going on in your family. Financial, you might need to work in order to help out with the family, or some people are just working a part-time job to get some experience. The 4 credits are very important, so this is where you cannot have aiding as one of your 4 classes. And again, emphasizing that application must be completed by May 29th. The application is online. You need to fill in some information about yourself, the classes you plan on taking here next year. You need to write a paragraph, and your parent needs to write a paragraph before any of that would get approved. All right, another option, early college. In early college, we have more and more students wanting to participate in this. Again, 2.4 unweighted GPA. With the early college, there are 2 groups of students. We have students who are looking at taking college credit only. That's when they go to the college and they might take Psych 101. They could take a basket weaving class. They could take an art class. It's a class where they elect and choose to take. It could be for the experience, it could be to help them, maybe we don't offer the class here at North Hartford, and You would have to take at least 4 credits here at North Hartford High School, and whatever you take at the college does not impact your high school graduation. Another group of students are doing the dual transfer of credit, where in their senior year they may choose to take their English at the college, maybe they take their math or their phys ed at the college. So this requires careful planning with your counselor because you have to have specific course names and numbers from the college, and typically it's 2 classes equals 1 class here. So 2 at Hartford Community would equal 1. If you're in AP English Language, it could be different because if you pass your AP English Language AP test and you earn a 4 or 5 on that, you would be granted 3 credits for English 101 at Hartford. Then you're only required to take 1 English at the college. So this is again where I would strongly recommend that you sit with your counselor if you are transferring any classes from Hartford Community to North Hartford. And that means if you're not successful at Hartford Community, it could possibly mean you're not going to earn your high school diploma. So we've had a lot of students who have been successful, we've had some who have not. Sit down with your counselor, we can walk you through what you need to do. You have to do an application to Hartford, you need to take placement tests, you need to do the application with us through Hartford County Schools. You have to pick your classes at Hartford, so there's many, many steps. And then finally, we have very minimal students who are done with high school and they're like, I don't want to be at North Hartford for my senior year. Instead, they're going to take their English, their math, and 2 other classes in the fall. And in the spring at the college, they're going to take English and math and 2 other classes. So that would be another option that I would encourage you to talk to your counselor about. So just to review those, please talk with your counselor if you're considering the early college admission. There is financial assistance available. Hartford County Schools will cover 1/3 of the tuition for the first 4 classes you sign up for. And you have to know the course numbers. So we'll show you where to find those on Hartford County's website. It's through the Student Education Planning Guide, which is on hcps.org, and we have it at our fingertips. Those of you who are interested, you can take a picture of this. Hartford Community will be offering an information night coming up on February 26th. It will be held on their campus. You can do an RSVP, but it's for your parents to find out more information, to listen to teachers, advisors at the college, in case they have any questions. So that's going to be coming up shortly, and it will be held on the campus. All right, here is the application information. Anyone who is considering part-time or early college, this is where you need to go to apply. hcps.org. You click on students, you click on student enrollment options, and then apply here. Once you're there, then you figure out, are you doing part-time, are you doing early college, are you going to do dual waiver, in which you're having your English class at the college, count for English here, or you take in psychology at the college, which means nothing to your high school diploma. When you are doing the college classes, you must, throughout your senior year, remain in touch with your counselor, because you will need to keep us posted as to the classes when you're signed up, the grades that you receive, and it's 2 times you do this. You're going to be doing this in September and then again in December. You'll be getting your grades probably December or January for your first semester at the college. All right, so the last thing that we need to talk about, and that is the actual registration form. You will be getting that from your teacher shortly, but it's very similar to last year. Regardless if you're going part-time or full-time, we're going to ask you to choose 8 classes, 8 credits. We're going to also ask for some substitutes depending on your classes. For example, I'm not going to ask for a substitute for English, but if you're choosing a phys ed class, I might ask for a substitute in case you don't want, or in case you can't get team sports, which another phys ed you would be okay for. Make sure you know and write down your completer and pathway. We have to have those identified, and when we come back to meet with you, we want to make sure that your completer pathway matches what we have in mind as being your completer pathway. And if you are applying for part-time, we ask that you write that at the top of your paper so we know who to keep an eye out for. We're not going to track you down. If you're going for part-time, it's up to you to do your application and follow through with that. Some other things. Please give us the information at the top of the form. Your name is obviously important, but a number to contact you in the summer is doubly important, because as we go through with the schedule, things that come up will happen in the summer. You're not here, so what's the best way for us to reach you? We're going to give you about 2 weeks before we come back, and your teacher will share with you the date that we're going to return. For those 2 weeks, talk to parents, talk to teachers, talk to peers, talk to other seniors, current seniors. Do some research, talk to your counselor. But we do ask you to get signatures. If you're going into a math here next year, if you're going into an English, we want to make sure based on what the teacher knows about you. If there's no signature, I'll look at your grades and I'll make a determination at that point whether you should be in a class for next year that you would like or not. So if you have that signature from the teacher, it makes it a lot easier. And again, we will return. We're going to have all the counselors back, and we'll have your grades from first and second quarter by that time, and also your classes from 9th and 10th, so we can guide you on things. So this is what the sheet will look like. I don't expect anybody to read it, but it's very similar from last year. You can look, and it's divided by departments, the other side of it. And while your teacher is passing that out, there is one other thing I need you to read, and I will be back to see you either later today or the next time you have this class. So good luck with your course selections. Take care. Bye-bye.